Okay, for me, I would say the authenticity that I carry around, right? So with me, it's the case of being truthful to myself. Or understand, in a sense of saying, even if I were to move or to be in a space around people that we identify as cheese boys, cheese girls,
Yes.
I would never try to fit in, or I would never tell a different story just to sound cool. Oh, my dad, I want to go lunch. No. I'll be saying, Barekisaka is part of me. Can I please have a place Barekisang God?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, we don't have God. Okay, and then I'll think of what is relative to God. It would be maybe a bag or something. Because, or maybe something, I know my stomach, it's not going to be growling and all
I get
that.
it now.
Well, understand. So I'm truthful like that. And it's that thing of saying, when I get into a space, if I feel like I'm not comfortable, I usually excuse myself. If I don't feel like I fit into that, or there's nothing it resonates with me, or there's nothing I'm going to learn from that, I remove myself from that, because one, I know it's going to have unnecessary pressure. As much as I may try to block it, but it's just gonna affect me. My confidence is going to be shaken, my energy is going to go low. I'm going to feel like I'm caged. You understand? It also even applies even to workplaces.
Yeah.
When I get to workplace, I'm a person who I have my own seat. Then I observe, read people's characters. I'm like, okay, this one I can spend days with. Something minanai. Wang understand so. And yeah, I think it's a matter of being authentic in my own space. That's what defines me. And I would never lie to say, yeah, I get to go deep salute, go tanganan, you see, go the bonding. Even in schools, even in university, when I was still staying, go mkukun. They were like, so when I said, I get to go deep salute, when I go mkukun, daddy shuba. I don't know however you're gonna receive me and all that, because where I come from does not define me, and even our destiny, we don't know where to go fed. Because there's someone who may grow up from well-doing family bonds and all that, then life hits, and then I fell cuckoo. Then someone might start going cuckoo, and then I fell into an 18-room house. So it's like that.
Anything for no understand, and at Cosmos, there's this thing that people besides in Dabazako more than when niggas was. I don't know why it's that, but they will always know your story more than when. How do you avoid that when you being caught up in a situation where something how do you avoid not to explain yourself? It is what it is, because they would say things about me and I would want to defend myself. No, it's not like that, but it's tiring. How do you avoid that?
I think for me, it goes back to how I grew up, because I started school in Diepsloot. And then halfway through, I went back home because my grandmother retired. So she was going back to Venda. Okay. And then I went back to Venda to finish the remaining years of my schooling. So when I went home, everyone is like, this child is wild. She's from the city. She's going to teach us. And also because I come from a family where it's only uncles, and they're my age, so I would be surrounded by guys. That's why even now you said, the conversation that we had off record. Because I've always been surrounded by my uncles who are my age. So obviously, if I'm always seeing Lalas, and Lalas is a friend of my uncle, automatically I'm gonna connect with Lalas also as an uncle that he's friend with my uncle. The trail. So when I was at home, it went as far as the parents not wanting their kids to be friends with me, and I understood, it was fine. My grandmother would tell me, don't worry, just stay at home. There's no need. You have everything that you need at home, And I think that's why even now I struggle to have friends, especially female friends, because I've never been around them, And then sharp went to high school, and then when I went, because every time there would be stuff that, she wouldn't make it to grade 10. She wouldn't make it to grade 12. And funny enough, I'm a late bloomer, because they said those things, they stuck around. And I'm like, I don't want to make my grandmother a laughing stock, I don't want to prove these people right, And when people talk about you, Ekasi, it's it's very weird because those things come back to you either way. If I say maybe your lashes are njani, you're gonna know eventually because you have you know. So for me, because I had those things from a young age, people saying those things about me from a young age, I didn't mind. Like, it's fine. I don't have to explain myself to you. If that's what you think about me, let it be like that. You don't know me, you know? And which is weird now. A lot of people don't know what's happening in my life, but they're assuming, you know, they're making assumptions. I remember when I was doing my second year university, there were rumors that I'm eating drugs. Sana, I've never, and in that 2 years, I hadn't been at home in Venda. Like, I would just go from Val and go to Deep Salute, and there were rumors that, did you see her? She's so skinny, she's eating drugs, you know, varsity. Naruto felt like you know, such those things like those ones. So for me, I don't care what you say about me. I know myself. I know what I'm doing, and if there's anyone that matters, is my grandmother. You know, that woman, she'll tell me, don't worry, it's fine. You know, every time when maybe a friend or whoever who's old will come and be like, hey, coming on lapha in. She'll be like, oh, I've had a lawyer, and when I come back home, she's like, it's fine, you know, what were you doing with the guy? I'm like, no, he's just a friend, or whatever the explanation that I'm doing. It's like, just don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant. Don't embarrass me in front of my enemies. You know that. Don't do that. You know. And those words stick around. Like every time when there was something being said about me, she would be the first one to tell me they do not matter. If you take it in within you, imagine if people were saying, I'm smoking drugs, and then I start smoking drugs because people are saying I'm smoking drugs. Where would I be right now?
Might as well.
Exactly. You know, for them to say, hey, if I were to do those things, where would I be now? You know, where would I be now? And it's fine. What you think of me is not, that doesn't mean that I'm that. If you think I'm the bad person, doesn't make me the bad person. If that's what you think, it's fine, honey. You go your way, I go my way.
But it is what it is.
Yeah. Kasi ke kholo ne. Kasi, it's a very broad thing to say, but most of the people who might say some stuff, who know a lot about you more than you know about yourself. It's either the people you are work related with, or the people that you chill with in the corner, or the family, or that very same street, your immediate environment. So I would say that with me, some of I think there are 3 aspects of my life in Kasi where people think they know a lot. It's number 1, it's in art. Number 2, it's in Mjolo. Number 3, it's about lifestyle. So I'll start with the art. Because of the influence, but before I go there, I'm saying, before everything, I'm a motivational speaker. So I record things. I'm a video, and then I talk. Vampija ngwanamma. So ke phela ke re theeletša ngwana mma a gona motho wa ka lego wa ka re go dilo tša ge di tsamaga botsanya ka go senyetša letšatši. Only the sad people wants to see you sad. If o ka tlogela o lebelela gore batho ba reng ka wena o tlo wina, the hashtag is by fire by force. So what happens is this: in art space, a lot of people feel intimidated because naga push a system. I don't wait for radio to, and if even the jobs, I tell people that in 8 years after my matric, I had already worked with 8 companies. It's like every year I work for one company. I change a company. No, sometimes I work with 2 companies at the same time. But also I don't stay long at the company because I know my potential is way always beyond what I'm doing. If being here and talking to you, you think it's my passion, wait until I'm the one owning the studio. So what happens is that with me, I know there's nobody who can say a bad thing about me while they are better than me. It's always the people who feel intimidated. At work, people who were talking bad about me because they felt like I'm after their position, while they had the qualification and I didn't have. So it's a good thing about me, because which means I'm better than them, even if they wasted their years in university, because I can still, they feel like I can do what they do better.
As a graduate, wasted is not the word.
No, I know you are graduating. I'm not talking about you. No. Wait, it's not about you then.
No, before you carry on, again. Like never, ever, ever, ever. I don't like it when someone says you wasted. No, I didn't. That was hard work. Someone had to study. They had to sit nights of sacrifice. That it's not wasted.
So now here's
it's
my comment. Understand me and understand me clearly. You are jumping into me while I'm talking. So what's happening if you feel intimidated and you feel like I can do more than what you went to me it's a waste. To you it is what it is. To me it's a waste. You shouldn't feel like that. You shouldn't feel like I'm after what you do while you know very well that you've worked hard, as you say. You've worked hard. So why you feel intimidated by me? You shouldn't. So if you feel intimidated, it's a waste. But if you know what you're doing and you have no problem with me, much respect to that.
That's
That's in a way.